Przewodniczący Państwowej Komisji Wyborczej, pan
President
sędzia
of the Commission, Judge Wojciech Hermeliński, and Secretary, Minister Beata Tokaj.
Dzień dobry Państwu.
Over to you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome at the press conference preceding the elections on Sunday. Let me just say that the National Electoral Commission, the precinct and district commissions have finished their preparations. We are ready right now to start the whole election procedure. The ballots are being transferred to the precinct commissions. Voting starts on 7 a.m. on Sunday and will last until 9 p.m. Minister will in a second show the ballot. We will once again remind you how to vote so that your vote was valid. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the ballot in the elections to the Sejm, the lower chamber of the parliament, is white and it's composed of several pages. The first page is of information character. It's an instruction how to vote. The next page is a list of contents, i.e. all electoral committees. Subsequent pages contain lists of candidates for deputies. To cast a valid ballot, we only choose one list and one candidate by putting a cross or a plus next to the name of the chosen candidate. These have to be two crossing lines which cross within the box. In the elections to the Senate, the ballot is one page only, it's yellow. We only choose one candidate here, again by putting a cross next to the name of the person. It's an X, a cross or a plus. As I said before, we are still emphasizing that these need to be two crossing lines and the point of crossing needs to be within the box. We have been asked whether the ends of the line can be outside of the box. That's not a problem. The crossing point has to be within the box. Please don't put such crosses on the list of contents. We have been informed that some people are planning to cast their votes in that way. This will be an invalid vote, and we do encourage everyone to read the instruction. It's simple, easily comprehensible, and it gives you clear guidance on how to vote so that your vote is valid. What about the opening hours of the polling stations and the change of time? Well, no change here. The fact that we go to winter time will not change anything. The voting stations, the polling stations start their work at 7 a.m. and close at 9 p.m. 1 hour more changes nothing. Those voters who do not change the time on their watches and go to a polling station that is already closed are just to blame, and that voting time does not change. Please remember that you have to be at the polling station within the opening hours, and the opening hours in the new time, i.e. winter time. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we have any questions? We have two microphones. Please introduce yourselves. Good afternoon, Artur Ingraczyk, Republika TV. Today at midnight the election silence starts. We hear more and more voices that it's not needed. You, sir, uttered a similar opinion. Will the Commission present such initiative after these elections to change that? Well, you probably are alluding to what I said today on the radio, in the third program of the Polish radio. I did not say it's redundant. I think it's worth asking ourselves whether it makes sense. It was introduced when the internet was in its infancy and people did not realize that the election silence in the press, radio, TV can be disturbed by various things happening online. That was the case during the previous election, the presidential elections. I simply said that maybe it would be worthwhile asking ourselves whether it is necessary to have election silence. The election silence sense is that voters should have some time, 48 hours, to think. But I think that most of them have already decided who they are going to cast their vote on. And besides, I think we should think whether election silence serves its purpose. If voters are interested in political matters in their homeland, their country, do they have to switch off their thinking for 48 hours? It's a problem that we would have to take into consideration, and I think that this decision does not need to be taken immediately. We need to have some time for discussion, for thinking, and maybe in the future the legislator will change that, because it's not our competence. When will we officially know the results of the elections? Do you know that when? Do you expect anything? We would like to be able to publish the final results on Tuesday, late afternoon, most likely. On Monday, we will present the initial results. Maybe not initial, these will be official results concerning crossing of the election threshold, the 5 or 8%, the latter being the threshold for coalitions. However, the final results with the names of deputies and senators will be given on Tuesday, unless some difficulties arise, and we hope that this will not be the case. Katarzyna Nosuń, Polish Press Agency. 2 questions. The first relates to the manner of voting. If you cross 2 names on one list of one electoral committee, is that a valid vote or not? This is a valid vote if it's within one list. If you cross 2 or more candidates within one list, this is still a valid vote. You cannot put 2 crosses at 2 lists. And who gets the vote then? The candidate higher on the list. And my second question is as follows. Is the election silence binding abroad for candidates who run in the elections, and is the form of a concert a violation of election silence? I mean, a concert taking place abroad, participated by other candidates. Election silence is not binding abroad. Therefore, a concert of a candidate for deputy would not be a violation of election silence. Election silence only takes place in Poland. RMF Radio. Madam Judge, we hear that there are errors on the ballots. We heard from the Łódzkie voivodeship from 2 different boroughs. How many signals of that kind have you obtained? Do you get these signals from other places in Poland? From what we know, these are printing errors. Some shifts, some blurred letters. Will these ballots be allowed to be used? And what's the procedure? Can you exchange such a ballot? Even if it turns out on the voting day that you obtained such a ballot, what should we do? Well, I must admit we did not get any such signals about printing errors or any mistakes in the digits. The Electoral Code clearly states the conditions that the ballot should meet. There should be a stamp, names of the candidates and the boxes. It should be 1 page only. And I think that the precinct commissions will take the decision in each case. Maybe they will be assisted by district commissions. If these are mistakes that do not change the sense of the ballot, i.e. a typo in the name, which does not hamper the voting, does not change the sense of the voting, i.e. the error has no meaning as to the sense of the ballot, then the Commission will take the decision. In my respect, this should be a valid ballot. A question to you, Madam. What about the IT system? Are you certain that this time it will work efficiently and there won't be any problems with preparing the protocols and the final results? The IT system is prepared. It was tested twice. We tested its functionality, the printing of protocols. After the second test, we can clearly say that we are prepared to go live. The system can be used in the elections. It worked well during the presidential elections, during the referendum. We hope that it will once again present no problems this time. I will say it has to work well. Yes, there's no other option. Agata Woźniak, Polish Radio. Let me ask about the information that you're going to give on Monday, the election threshold. Will this be based on electronic information? And will you present the actual values, i.e. the actual results for the committees? Well, we will know the values. We will be basing our information on valid protocols. So we will give you digits, not only yes, no answers. If we say that a committee crossed the threshold, we will also give you what the difference was. So this will be data obtained by the National Electoral Commission, electronically complete data. Yes, this will be complete data without the names of chosen candidates. It will be obtained electronically and signed by all judges who draft the protocols. When will that be? Once we obtain all protocols from the commissions. Ladies and gentlemen, are there any further questions? Let me refer to the Monday information. On Monday, you will actually have complete information. You will actually want just to have a confirmation in the form of traditional protocols. That is why you only present the official results on Tuesday. That is correct. We cannot present official final results, i.e. the names, without paper protocols. They are the deciding ones, as always. If there are no further questions, I'd like to thank you for this briefing. The press office is at your disposal. The judges, if needed, can be addressed and interviewed. Thank you very much for now, and see you on Sunday at 8 a.m. Thank you very much.